Okay, everybody. So now this is the Lycra swing. So a couple things with this. I would only have something like this up so long as the child has proven that they can be safe getting in and out of this without your help. Then you can have it up without your direct supervision. If they are not safe getting in and out of it independently, then this is actually a really good tool for them to convey to you what their wants and needs are. Therefore, they're going to have to come to you and let you know that they wish to have this up. Again, just as with the pod swing that we were working with earlier, ensure that they're not using this swinging as a mode of escalating themselves and amping themselves up. So this thing, the swing is difficult to, if you have multi-layers, to try to figure out where the middle is. So if you have it on one, it's called a 1-point swing. So if you are hanging it from one part versus two, if you hang it on two, then it becomes a little less complicated, a little less opportunity for rotation, which is okay, and it goes more of a two-directional sort of thing. A lot of you do have a 1-point system though, so I will show you what that looks like. So what I also forgot to show you is how a kiddo can swing themselves or have a component where you don't have to have direct, that's what I'm looking for. You don't have to push them with your hand. You can use a rope, which will develop their grip strength and provide them with proprioceptive input. So you can have them hold onto a rope. This also develops the arches in their hands, which are good for writing skills and just overall hanging on to stuff. So you can have a rope they're holding onto, and you can do rhythmic swinging. So I, again, put the kitty in there, and the kitty's not doing a super great job of holding on. What this can also do is, as you see, it's getting a little bit of rotation, but not a ton, which is okay. Because with rotation, it needs to be very monitored and deliberate. So make sure that if you are spinning your kiddo or it's okay if they're spinning themselves without your encouragement or without you doing it. They have a better sense of when they're done spinning than what they're able to convey oftentimes. So with a Lycra, it provides a lot of compression and a lot of proprioception on all ends. You could also put, so there's the kiddo who's supposed to be in there somewhere. And you could put a beanbag in there or a pillow at the bottom. Sometimes they like to sit on it. Sometimes they like it over the top of them. You could put a little like glow light in there. If they have a chewy, like a chewy pea or jewelry while they're swinging in there, that's awesome. This can be really regulating. And again, just helping with bedtime and getting overall organization skills. So document still what kind of swing was used with your duration, intensity, and frequency of swinging that you'll be logging, which again will be really helpful information, not just for you, but for me, so that I can give you the next step. So low intensity swinging, if your kiddo can tolerate it, feel free to do something like a rotation, kind of like that. if they can tolerate it. Don't do it for a long time. Make sure you talk with them, check in with them. You know, how you doing? Do you want more? Ask them what they want. Do you want to swing? And allow some time for them to respond. Or do you want to bounce? So this can be an amazing bicep workout for siblings, aunts, and uncles, whoever is around to bounce a child. So this can be very, very, very regulating because, again, you're providing the movement and the proprioception that they are seeking through running around the house, crashing into items, crashing into the dog, crashing into you, crashing into the couch. They are looking for this impact. So this is a safe way to get it. And if they can ask for it and they know how they can get it, then they're more prone to do it safely with this versus getting into trouble and finding other modes of getting their needs met. So, you know, just like the last video, low intensity swing or high intensity swing. We're going high. And a lot of times, if there's some weight in here, it'll kind of bottom out at the bottom. But that's okay, because as long as it's not too much extra work for you and it's not too hard for them, because they dig it. They dig it. But if you're bottoming out and that is an undesirable effect, then just raise it up a little bit and that should fix the problem. Now, if your kiddo is wanting spinning, you see them standing in one spot and spinning. You see them running around in circles, around and around and around a certain object. This is something you can try. Again, this is something that you should count the number of rotations are done, and check in and be aware of how their body looks, how their face looks, how the response time is, how their eyes look, how their cheeks look. Are their cheeks flush? Are they clammy? Are they sweaty? Do they look like they're just going to lose their cookies in there? Because once they look like they're going to lose their cookies, it's gone a bit far. So this is where I would like each and every one of you parents to start slow as far as rotary goes specifically. So if you're on a one point hammock is what we call these, but if you just have one part where you hang it up, it might take you a little bit longer to get it spun up. And I'm going to have to change it because we have swivels on ours. So actually what I'll do to act as though we don't have that swivel in place, I'm just going to connect it to another one and it'll stop it from rotating. Okay, so you're spinning your kid and you can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And as you see, this is beginning to crunch up. This adds an additional, like a squeeze, a good proprioceptive input that they're able to get from all sides. And then allow it to rotate. I would recommend to start, do no more than 3 to 5 rotations. So here we go, 1, 2, 3, and you can count out loud, have them count 4, 5, woo, and then stop it, make it fun. And then I intuitively just kind of give a little bit of a jiggle, like so, because that gives them, that's the reset button, right? So proprioception offsets vestibular. Vestibular is your spatial awareness, so where your head is moving in space. So if you're rotating, your head is moving in space. And if you just provide a little bit of jiggling and proprioception, it helps to offset some dizziness. Ask them if they want to go again or not. And then you could go the other direction and count whether you're doing 3 or 5 rotations. Have them count with you for language development and connection. And then also encourage them to say ready. And I kind of give a physical cue with this by going ready, set, and then I wait for them to also say go. If they're not verbalizing it, they're not wanting to say go, then I wait just a few seconds, and I don't punish them because they're going to start squirming, right? And then they're going to become dysregulated. So I just give it to them and say go, and see if they'll do it. See if they'll say go or ready, set, go with you the next time. Count the number of rotations and check in. I would do, so we just did 2 sets of 5 right there. So I would keep the rule sets of 3 to 5. So 3 to 5 rotations and sets of 3 to 5. Again, another really regulating thing is bouncing. Your kid's probably really going to love bouncing. It's very organizing for them, and it provides the movement, again, that they're seeking. So they can have, like I said, chewy peas in here, little finger fidgets. If you have little finger lights, like a little glowy thing, super fun. And you can just keep a really chill, if you're trying to get them to nap or sleep and they're almost there, if you just keep a super chill swing like this, and the room is calm, the environment is calm, there's a good chance they might definitely pass out in there. And it's okay if they do. Absolutely fine. If you notice that they're asleep, feel free to let them sleep in there. This is breathable material, and they're in a good spot. They're receiving proprioception. So it's like having kind of like a weighted blanket on all sides of your body. So, there we have it. I think that's our crash course on Lycra swings. All right, over and out, rubber duckies.